I'm live on TikTok and on YouTube. I don't know what's going on with the algorithm on TikTok, but there's been some glitches going on this app. So I'm just gonna keep going, and if anybody wants to join, they join. Of course, we have YouTube as well. So if you guys are watching the replay, be sure to click the like button. If you're watching from YouTube, hey, TikTok, welcome in. As you're coming in, be sure to like the video, and also to let me know if you're snowed in. Who else is snowed in? I keep saying that. So today I want to talk about surviving fibroids during a snowstorm. We got a lot to talk about today. Thank you, Tasha, for the likes. Thank you. We have a lot to talk about today, okay? Because right now, in majority of America, I know it's not affecting everybody, but hey, Marsh, welcome. Yes, like, subscribe, and share if you're watching from YouTube. I would so appreciate this. Watch it, because we have a lot of people who are in a snowstorm, who are stuck at home, and we have to talk about how do we survive fibroids in a snowstorm, okay? It's an important conversation. All right, so we have a lot to talk about today. Thank you, Tasha, for the likes. I appreciate it. If you're watching from YouTube, be sure to click the like button. All right, and put a 1 in the chat if you are currently snowed in. If you're in one of the states that is snowed in, let me know if you guys are snowed in. All right, I would love to know. I don't know what's going on with TikTok and their algorithm, but we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. All right, so for those that are watching new for the first time, hi and welcome. Happy that you're here. My name is Sasha. I am a holistic womb specialist. What I do is I help women who have fibroids, not just shrink their fibroids. I help them eliminate their fibroids. I help them dissolve their fibroids, okay? I help them get to the root cause of the problem. When it comes to their fibroids, we get to the root of why the fibroids develop. And that's when, once we do that, we're able to start to shrink and dissolve the fibroid. I've also helped women reverse endometriosis, adenomyosis, restore their hormonal balance, PCOS, ovarian cysts, uterine prolapse. I've helped women get pregnant naturally, and so on and so forth, okay? So anything dealing with the womb and the hormones, I've helped women restore their health, okay? So I love what I do. I love putting the power back into women's hands. And when we talk about fibroids, when we talk about reproductive health issues, we talk about it from the root cause. We don't just talk about these random remedies and random detoxes. No. Because that doesn't heal. We get to the root cause of why your body developed the tumor, why your body developed fibroids, why did your body develop endometriosis? Because there's a reason, right? The internal environment in your body allowed for this to happen. So it's important that you know, understand that, okay? So if you're watching from YouTube, hi and welcome. Be sure to click the like button, all right? We're talking about surviving fibroids in a snowstorm, okay? Put a 1 in the chat. Thank you so much for sharing the live. Yes, share the live. I was saying yesterday how I'm like this close to being done with TikTok because TikTok has been glitching hard and they haven't been pushing out my live streams, which is fine. So we may have to eventually move over permanent to YouTube, and I may have to just cancel my TikTok. We'll see. But if you guys are watching me, be sure to also subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can do so by clicking the link in my bio. All right, so let's talk about the topic today. How do we survive fibroids in a snowstorm? Okay. Let me know if you guys are in the snow, are also snowed in. Put a 1 in the chat. I would love to know where you guys are watching from. Don't be shy. Okay. Don't be shy. Okay. So there is a parallel between being snowed in and having fibroids, okay? And follow me here. I'm gonna paint a picture for you. There's a parallel between having fibroids and being snowed in. Right now, a lot of us, and if you're watching us, if you're from outside of the US, bear with me because you can also learn something from this as well. A lot of us are snowed in right now. We can't really move. We can't really go anywhere. It's not really safe, okay? Everything seems to be at a standstill. Right? Especially if you work outside the home, more than likely you're home. People aren't going to school. Like everything's at a standstill. Majority of things are shut down except for like essential things. We're just sitting here waiting for, right? Waiting for the snow to melt and life to kind of get back to normal, right? And that could be exactly how it feels like when you have fibroids. Let me explain. Let me paint a picture for you. I know it's, so you feel fibroids is synonymous with stagnation. Right? And when I say that, I mean that when you're dealing with fibroids internally, your elimination organs are not moving the way they're supposed to. Your elimination organs, the organs responsible for this helping your body dispel waste, are congested, are not flowing like the way they're supposed to. They're overloaded. There's a lot of toxins and waste in the body. So when we have fibroids, we're keeping a lot of toxins in instead of getting rid of lots of toxins. This is why the fibroids were able to form. The environment in your body has to be a certain way for fibroids to form. Fibroids do not just form out of nowhere, right? So fibroids, again, it has to do with stagnation. And this could even be like energy. This can even be like an energetic thing. You may notice stagnation in certain areas of your life when you have fibroids. A lot of women notice who have fibroids notice that they're not able to kind of like move like they're supposed to. When I say that, I'm not talking about physically, but I mean maybe in your career, maybe in your, there's some way, somehow you feel like overwhelmed and trapped, right? This could be, so it doesn't just happen internally, it also happens in your reality as well. So let me know if you guys are following me. I know that I'm kind of like going outside of the box, but let me know if you guys are following me. So it's almost like you feel stuck in your own body. As somebody that used to deal with fibroids, had fibroids in the past, you feel trapped in your body. Like it's almost like the fibroids are taking over, right? And they're the ones controlling, especially when you have fibroids that okay, so Nicole, guess what I'm saying? I know that I'm kind of stepping outside of the box. This is not the usual fibroid content you're going to see online, but we're going a little deeper here, okay? Is that okay? Can we go a little deeper and not just skim the surface? All right? So you may feel trapped, right? You may feel like nothing's changing, nothing's moving like you want it to, right? And that's exactly what's going on in your body when you have fibroids, right? Things aren't moving like they're supposed to. Things aren't flowing like they're supposed to, right? Because we have lots of stagnation, we have lots of waste in the body, right? You may feel trapped, like your life revolves around your symptoms. This one is huge. A lot of women, so put a 1 in the chat if your periods are so heavy that when they're your heavy days, you can't leave the house, or you feel uncomfortable leaving the house, or you can't wear certain things, or you can't go certain places. You can't go to certain events because you're afraid that you may bleed through, or there's so much pain. So your life starts to, your symptoms and your fibroids starts to rule your life instead of you actually being in control of your life. I just got them removed 2 months ago. Okay, so you're right. So I'm trying to regulate my hormones naturally. Okay, so Nicole, you're in the right place, because we always talk about, you must be new. We always talk about on this platform, when we don't get to the root cause of the problem, the fibroids grow back, okay? If you've already had surgery, that's okay. But our biggest goal is we still have to address why the fibroids occurred. We still have to get to the root cause of the problem. So you may feel isolated as well, right? You know, during snowstorms, and I'm comparing fibroids to a snowstorm really quickly, but just so you guys can follow me. But there's a bit of isolation. We're stuck inside, right? Some of you guys may be stuck inside your house. Some of you guys may be stuck inside, you know, with your parents or with your family members, whoever, right? But you're stuck inside. You may not be seen as many people as you were before. And when you have fibroids, it's almost like you feel isolated. Like nobody really understands what you're going through unless they have fibroids as well, right? You may feel like kind of lost, right? You're just kind of waiting. You're just kind of, you know, waiting for relief. You're waiting to feel better. You may be psychologically kind of waiting for them to just go away on their own, right? Some people are waiting literally till menopause, because they've been told that menopause, you know, shrink your fibroid, which is not true, but they've been told that, right? You're waiting for your next doctor's appointment. You're waiting for some type of answer. I remember I had a client tell me that she literally was praying for months before she found me on what to do about her fibroids, because she was hearing so many different things and she was lost, right? So I'm experiencing hair loss now. I used to be in so much pain. Okay, so yes, I'm listening. Thank you so much. You're welcome. And if we're experiencing hair loss, we're still estrogen dominant. And ladies, when you have fibroids, your estrogen dominant. Your hormones are way out of balance. So we have to get them back in balance. I'm lost in my career. I do not want them to go back, because I think it means grow back, because I want to try and have children. Okay. That's totally okay. And I totally understand that. Now, Nicole, I also want to say, and this is not just to you as well, this is to anybody that wants to have children, that may have fibroids or that has had surgery to remove their fibroids. before having children, get your body at the optimum level of health, right? So that means balanced hormones, right? Get your body in a healthy place before. And if you have fibroids, anybody that has fibroids, shrinking is all those fibroids first. Take some time, a few months, to get your body healthy before bringing forth children into the world. So hopefully that makes sense, ladies. Okay. That will lower the risk of growing fibroids in pregnancy, because that does happen. And that will also, for those that already do have fibroids, that would lower the risk of any type of complications. Okay. So that's important. Okay. So ladies, the snow outside will melt. The roads are going to unblock. Life is going to go back to normal in a couple of days, probably, depending on where you live, right? But when we talk about your fibroids, they're not going to go anywhere unless you do something about them. They're not going to go anywhere magically unless you do something about them, right? So could they grow? Yeah. But they're not going to just evaporate one day. I know a lot of us just want us to wake up with no fibroids. I totally get it. But that's not going to happen. You have to, like I said, you have to have a plan. You have to target the fibroid. You have to get to the root cause of the problem. And we're going to talk about that today. So what's actually happening inside of your body when you have fibroids? Let's talk about it, okay? So your body is backed up when you have fibroids. Again, it's backed up with waste, right? Stuck, just like these roads, right? Your liver is overloaded. And not just your liver, your elimination organs. The organs in your body responsible for helping your body dispel waste, they're overloaded. Your liver is your body's master detoxifier. It's responsible for so many different things, but one of the things that it's responsible for is processing and eliminating excess waste, toxins, right? So when your liver is sluggish, unfortunately, your body's not able to eliminate waste effectively, okay? Hey, Natasha, new here. Do you work with individuals who have or had fibroids? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. I've been working with clients for years who have fibroids or who had fibroids, right? Who've had endometriosis, adenomyosis, ovarian cysts. Yes. I help women heal completely. So, we have our 6-week womb healing experience that's open where I'm working with women for 6 weeks. So yeah, I do work with women individually, and I do work with women individually and also in group programs as well. Okay, so when your elimination organs are stagnant, when they're backed up, the waste and toxins recirculate in your body, and that just continues feeding the fibroid. That is why women will have their fibroid will be 2 centimeters 1 year, and then in a couple years or however long, it'll be a 10 centimeter fibroid, right? Or it'll be 2, 3 fibroids. It'll go from 1 to 2 or 3 or however many, right? They'll grow with some women, they multiply, okay? Because your body's just recirculating this waste. It's not getting rid of it. No, I don't use remedies, because here's the thing. I use a complete lifestyle diet change. The reason why I don't use remedies, because remedies are temporary, okay? I get to the root cause of the problem. I'm not against remedies, but I'm against using that to solely get rid of fibroids, because it's just looking for a temporary relief, and you'll eventually either won't work or you'll eventually just regrow the fibroid again, okay? So you want to get to the root cause of the problem. Thank you. I don't have fibroids and struggle with fertility. Okay, so more than likely, Natasha, there's a hormonal issue there. More than likely, there's some type of hormonal issue if you're struggling with fertility. Okay, now, so your liver, your liver is important. Your elimination organs are important. Your colon, your lymphatic system, your gut, that's extremely important, okay? Extremely, it's important. Your kidneys. So your body's filtration system is off when you have fibroids, ladies, okay? Your body's keeping waste in. It's important to understand what's really going on in your body when you have fibroids. You said scar tissue. What about scar tissue? Okay, so your lymphatic system, which is extremely important, your lymphatic system, and thank you guys for the likes. Yes, be sure to like the video as you're coming in. Ladies, let's get the likes up. If you're watching from YouTube, click the thumbs up button. And if you're watching from TikTok, okay, like I was saying yesterday, I was live twice yesterday on TikTok. I was saying that I'm not going to be on here forever because TikTok has changed. It has changed drastically. So be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. by clicking the link in my bio, and also subscribe to my email list, okay? 5 years ago, I had a C-section. I was told I had a fibroid the size of a grapefruit. Is it possible it grew? 5 years ago, very possible. But Michelle, I'm going to ask you a question. Has your symptoms increased or stayed the same 5 years from over these 5 years? Has your symptoms? So you got a lot of times I get it. I get why sometimes we don't want to have an ultrasound or MRI. I get that. But look at your symptoms. I don't know what the symptoms would be. I never had a fibroid. Okay. I never knew I had a fibroid. Excuse me. Okay. So there's so many. But some of the symptoms, a lot of times, it's in your, it can vary from woman to woman. But majority of the time, your period. And let's talk about real quick before we get into the rest of the presentation today. So if your period is, if you bleed more than, I'm not saying if you have any of these symptoms, I'm not saying that you have a fibroid for sure, but these are just some signs and symptoms, ladies. If you bleed more than 3 to 4 days, yes. If you bleed heavy, even if it's just 1 day, if you have cramps, if you pass clots, if you have any type of PMS, if you have a fibroid belly, what else? There's so many different. If you experience anemia, if you have anemia, if you which would mean that you're bleeding a lot. If you have like lower back pain, that's also a sign. If you have tingling hands and feet or cold hands and feet as well, that's also a sign. Okay, those are just some signs. A fibroid belly is when you have an enlarged uterus, and it's pretty much is like your lower belly is hard, like, and you have a fibroid. That's pretty much a fibroid belly. It's the it's when you have a fibroid that's causing your uterus to enlarge, and it starts pushing your uterus upward and outward. Majority of women that have fibroids have enlarged uterus. Not majority, but there's a huge number. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Now let's get to it. Let's get to the rest of it. Okay, when you have fibroids, your lymphatic system is also stagnant. Ladies, your lymphatic system is extremely important. On my Facebook today, and I posted this on Threads as well. Oh, good. Make sure that you're on the email list. You also subscribe to the YouTube channel, because I was saying that I'm not gonna be on TikTok forever. So be sure to. I'm happy that you're here. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also subscribe. You can do so by clicking the link in my bio, and also to subscribe to our email list as well, and the YouTube. All right. So I was saying earlier that during the winter time, the reason why a lot of people get sick during the winter is not because of the cold. It's because our lymphatic system slows down when it's cold, right? Our lymphatic, because we're not, and then on top of that, we're not moving as much during the cold, unfortunately. And a lot of people are eating heavy foods, lots of cooked foods, like, all these. I'm not saying warm foods or cooked foods are bad, but a lot of people are not eating lots of fruits and vegetables during the people don't eat the healthiest during the winter time. They eat all the holidays. They don't. This is why people, tend to gain weight during the winter time. They don't eat the healthiest. So that's they drink. People drink during the winter time when it's cold like this. I know people have bought alcohol for the snowstorm. All of these snacks. So your lymphatic system already naturally slows down when it's cold. So then you're adding in things. Your habits are actually causing more of a congestion, more of a stagnation in the lymphatic system. So of course you're gonna get sick. Yeah, eating a lot of comfort foods. Yeah, hay flour, exactly, during the wintertime. And you're not supposed to. You're actually supposed to eat anytime. You're supposed to eat healthy all year round, but especially during the winter, because of your lymphatic system is slowed down. And if you have fibroids, listen up. You already have a congested lymphatic system. So you spending your winter time, spending the snowstorm season, eating all these comfort meals, you better stop, because guess what? This is why your symptoms are worse during the wintertime. Your bleeding is heavier during the wintertime. You have more, a lot of you guys have more clots. You feel more pain on your cycles during the wintertime. Your blood count gets lower during the wintertime. Okay? So that's important. Your lymphatic system is extremely important. You have lymph vessels and lymph nodes running all up and down your body. it helps your body remove waste, right? You have a whole bunch of lymph nodes and lymph vessels all around the, well, you know, around different parts of your body, but definitely around the groin area. Okay, so it's important that you understand that, right? And your lymphatic system does not have a pump like your heart does, so it relies on movement. So not only your physical movement, but also too, what are you putting into your body, right? So that's important. So if you're sedentary, if you're stressed out, if you're eating processed foods, if you're, you know, your body's not properly hydrated, which most people are not hydrated. If your body's overwhelmed, it gets stuck. All that waste and toxins get stuck, right? They get trapped. This is how we are able to have all of these health issues, including fibroids, right? It's like all this waste and toxins just piling up with nowhere to go. Okay, you have a 5 by 4 fibroid. Is it noticeable? I'm not understanding that. I don't understand that question. What do you mean? Is it noticeable? It depends on the person. I don't know. I can't see you, so I don't know. You know your body. Is it noticeable to you? You know your body. Okay. I have a 5 by 4 fibroid and 3 others that are small. Is that bigger one noticeable in my tummy area? Officially, Viv, I can't see you. I don't know. Okay? I don't know. So I'm not sure. You ask yourself that, hun. All right? So, okay. If you have fibroids, your colon is also backed up. Okay? Again, your elimination pathways are overloaded and backed up. So your body's not able to remove waste effectively and efficiently, and that is going to create a problem. You feel bloated at times. Okay, that is more than likely. So that's the answer to your question. That bloated feeling, that hard, if you're feeling bloated all the time, that hard belly feeling, which a lot of women that have fibroids do, then yeah, more than likely you may have a fibroid belly. Okay. So if you're constipated or you're not eliminating properly, because a lot of people don't know really what constipation is. If you're not eliminating when you eat a meal, that's constipation. So a lot of people think that if they have a bowel movement every other day, no, that's not healthy. So where's all that waste going? Where's all that waste going? So you're supposed to have a bowel movement several times a day, at the very least twice a day. So if not, we're just keeping in waste. Okay? So and again, it feeds the waste just feeds that fibroid. So it's important that you so this is why when we're getting rid of fibroids, when we're shrinking and dissolving the fibroids, we gotta open up those elimination pathways, those elimination organs. We gotta get your body to the point where it's detoxifying itself every single day. A lot of people want to just do a detox and that's it. That's not gonna heal you. That's temporary. You have to get your body to the point where it's detoxifying itself daily, because our bodies were made to detox. It wasn't made to keep waste in. And when it does keep waste in, this is how we get fibroids and cysts and heavy bleeding and all of these issues, right? So that's important that you know that, all right? Now, let's talk about the nervous system, right? The stress, okay? Because I know that we live in a time where a lot of people are stressed, but you have to take hold of that when you have fibroids, because guess what? Cortisol levels, when we talk about high cortisol levels, that kills your hormone levels. That kills your hormonal balance. Stress feeds fibroids. It kills your progesterone levels. It's very toxic to your body. So you have to get a handle on your stress levels. You have to. And emotional stress and physical stress, right? So when your body's stressed out, it's not going to prioritize your reproduction. It's not going to prioritize, your fertility health, your reproduction. It's not going to prioritize your sex hormones. It's going to steal from your sex hormones, okay? So when your cortisol rises, progesterone drops significantly, okay? So your body's not focused on healing when you're stressed out. Your body's focused on surviving when you're stressed. Your body's literally focused on surviving when you're stressed out, okay? So that's important that you know that. You want to get your body to the point, you got to get your body out of a state of stress. When you have fibroids, your body's in a state of stress and a state of inflammation. You have to get your body out of that state, okay? That's extremely, extremely important. Yes, thank you for the likes. Yes, like the video, like the video, like the video, like the video, okay? So we're going to talk about how do we Like, how do we, okay, so how, you guys know, like, we're in a snowstorm right now. A lot of people are stuck inside. Eventually, this ice will thaw out. So how do we, how do we thaw our bodies out from being stuck, from being trapped with waste? How do we do that? We're gonna talk about that. I first want to mention that we do have the 6-week womb healing experience open. We have about it's 5 more days left at the special price. So if you want to work with me for the next 6 weeks to restore your hormonal balance, reverse estrogen dominance, target the root cause of your fibroids, and significantly shrink your fibroids, and possibly even dissolve the smaller fibroids, okay, then be sure to click the link in my bio and join our 6-week womb healing experience. We're accepting clients. Again, the price will go back to the original price on February 1st. FYI, okay? So if you want to work with me, come on. Let's go. Let's get rid of these fibroids. The link is in my bio for more information. If you're watching from YouTube, the link is in my description box, okay? If you want to send me a message, ask me a question about it, see if it's for you, then you could do that. You could do so on TikTok. If you want to send me an email on YouTube, that's totally fine. Now let's get started. Okay, so how do we thaw our bodies out? How do we get our bodies moving? How do we get our bodies unstuck? Okay? Just like, again, this snow will eventually melt. We want to do the same. We want to also thaw our bodies out. Okay? So we have to support our elimination organs. The liver, the kidneys, we got to support them. We're going to talk about the liver first. When you have fibroids, your liver needs support. How are we gonna clear out excess toxins and waste without the help of your body's master detoxifier, which is your liver? You can't. So you gotta reduce the toxic load on your liver. A lot of you guys, your liver is stressed out and tired because you've been abusing it with alcohol, with all this processed food, with sugar, okay? All of this stuff, right? With hormones. I talked about birth control the other day, and how somebody literally got, there's women getting brain tumors from birth control. So if you're pumping in synthetic hormones into your body, that's overloading the liver, right? And setting you up for disease later on. I don't care if it's IVF, egg freezing, anything that pumps hormones into your body. HRTs. Okay, so be wary of these things. Okay, we talked about alcohol, wine, all of that stuff. Okay, you have to give your liver the nutrients that it needs, and stop overloading it with toxins and waste. Okay, so you have to tend to the liver, give it the nutrients that it needs. And I'm not, somebody's gonna say, oh, should I do a liver detox? I know somebody's gonna ask that question. The answer is that your liver, you should be sure that your liver is detoxifying itself every day, not just for a few days. No. And then you know, overload it again with waste. No. Stop looking for quick fixes on this process and actually do the work of healing. Stop looking for a quick fix during this process and do the work of healing so that you can become free of fibroids. You can become free, your hormones can rebalance, so you can get your body healthy again. And then some of you guys want to bring life into this world. Why not do so in a healthy body? Okay? It doesn't make any sense to not do so in a healthy body. It makes no sense. Okay? So we also want to move the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is extremely important when you're dealing with fibroids, right? Because again, if we're dealing with a congested lymphatic system, the fibroids are not going to shrink. Your body will keep waste in. So what are some things that we can do? Your lymphatic system needs movement. Again, it doesn't survive off a pump. It survives off movement. Okay, so what are some things you could do to support the lymphatic system? It's really a lifestyle, but these are just some extra things that you could do, okay? Things like dry brushing, rebounding, walking, movement, stretching, massages. Those are temporary things, but what you want to be supporting your lymphatic system daily. Your habits should support your body daily, your organs daily. It shouldn't be temporary, right? That's when you talk about dry brushing and massages, that temporarily, manually gets the lymphatic system moving again. But you want it to be moving on a continuous basis, not just for a few moments, not just for a few days, okay? So that's important. We want to support our lymphatic system. You're not going to do so by pumping your body with junk every day. Okay, so you even have to watch the medications that you take and the pharmaceuticals that you take, but that's a whole other conversation. Okay, so another thing too is we want to get the bowels moving. I know TMI, we won't talk about this, but here's the thing. In order to remove waste from your body, you have to eliminate more. Okay, so you cannot. A lot of people are constipated. I said that you want to be moving your bowels at least twice a day. There's no reason why you should, have a bowel movement once every other day. And you're eating 3 times a day. That's ridiculous. You are backed up. You are constipated. Okay? So can we get some likes on TikTok? So you want to make sure that your waste is not being reabsorbed back into your body and it's actually moving through you. And some ways that you can improve on that is but through hydration. And hydration is not just drinking water, it's also what you eat as well. Because a lot of you guys are eating especially in the wintertime, oh my God, it's really bad. Very dehydrating things. So that your body, again, we talk about how the fibroids equates to stagnation. So you're eating very dehydrating things. What do you think that's doing to the stagnation in your body? It's feeding that. So focusing on fiber. Focusing on hydration and not just what you're drinking, but also what you're eating should hydrate you as well. Focusing on gut health. All of this stuff matters. That's just a few things that matter that you want to, like I said, really pay close attention to. People think it's normal to go a few times a week. I know, and that's sad. Like they're literally backed up with waste. Literally. A lot of people are backed up with waste. It's sad, okay? So also to thaw your body out, to unblock your body, to get things flowing in there so that the fibroids can shrink and dissolve. You will also want to work on your nervous system. That's extremely important. Working on that nervous system, okay? You got to get your body out of survival mode. You have to reduce stress. That's a must. Your body cannot heal in chaos. Your body cannot heal when you're in survival mode. White coats will have you believing it's normal as well. Exactly. Doctors love telling women or telling people bad health is normal. Just like they tell women it's normal to bleed for a whole entire week. It's normal to have fibroids. It's normal. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, they just want everybody to be sick. It's weird. But yeah, you have to be eliminating your bowels multiple times during the day, not just a couple times during the week. That's horrible. How is your body removing waste? So you gotta get your body out of survival mode, right? You can start out with journaling, deep breathing, finding ways to reduce stress. And let me just say this, because I know that women are always like, well, I have a stressful life. There's nothing I can do. Kids can't have really control over their lives like that, right? Minors. But as adults, we have control over our life. What is bringing you stress? You can solve that problem. I promise you. A lot of you guys just don't want to. Okay? Whether it's a man, a job, or something, there's something that you can do. And I'm not telling anybody to quit their job or leave their man, right? But there's something that you can do to change the way you react. The way your body, to change the way you adapt or whatever. There's things that you can do. What's a normal period length to you? Not to me. A normal period length when your body's properly regulated, when your hormones are in balance, is you will not bleed more than 3 to 4 days. I've been doing this for a very long time. I worked with many women, and once we get their bodies healthy, about 3 to 4 days, light, the period, no symptoms, no clots. That's literally inflammation, systemic inflammation. No cramps, and the bleeding will be light. They won't need anything more than a regular padded tampon. There is no adult diapers. There is no super pads and none of that stuff. Not when your body's healthy, okay? So we have to stop normalizing bad health, right? And that's because that's leaving us stuck. And that's leaving us not understanding the difference between hormonal imbalance and hormonal balance and things until things get so bad. So we got to reduce stress. We have to reduce stress, right? Your body cannot heal when it's constantly in fight or flight mode. It can't. Your body can't heal that way. It simply cannot heal that way. You have to reduce stress. This is non-negotiable, or you will just, you guys already know stress kills. I don't have to go down that. I don't have to go down that rabbit hole, or I don't have to preach to you guys about that. Stress literally kills. It does. So you have to take care of the stress. You have to address the emotional root causes of fibroids. I always talk about that because fibroids are not just physical, they're also emotional. So you got to address what you're holding on to emotionally: heartbreak, stress, childhood trauma, whether it's sexual trauma, whether it's abortions, whether it's miscarriages. What is it that you're holding on to? Pain, right? Or what is it that you're suppressing that you haven't dealt with yet? That's another thing too. These fibroids are much more than physical. They're also emotional blockages as well. Okay. So why is this? We stuck in this snowstorm, right? This is surviving fibroids in the snowstorm. Why is this a perfect time to start your healing journey, right? Because people are like, you know, because I always say this: we're still in January. If you start now, a lot of you guys could be fibroid free by the summertime. A lot of you guys could be, you know, if not fibroid free, if you have a very large fibroid, of course it'll take more time. But you could be in a much different place by the summertime, or even before the summertime, depending on where you're at right now. So why is this the perfect time to start healing? A lot of you guys are snowed in, you're home, you have more time, okay? This is the perfect time to slow down and really think about your health. Really think about the health of your womb. You cannot go on like this because it will only get worse and worse and worse. A lot of us, you know, are always running around, running errands, kids, spouse, responsibilities, work, bills. It never stops, right? We never stop. So right now, the world has forced us to stop. That's why I said in one of my Facebook posts, I said that sometimes being snowed in can be a blessing. Sometimes being snowed in can be a blessing, okay? So right now, the world has told us to stop, has made us stop, right? And just be in our homes for a bit, which is, you know, is totally fine. So why not use this time to really address what's been going on inside of your body? Why not use this time to address what's been going on inside of your body, okay? What you've been running from, what you've been sweeping under the rug, why not use this time to address that? I'm asking you. Right? Because we don't want to go into further into the year and still have the same fibroids and still are, you know, bleeding heavily and still having these hormonal issues and still not able to conceive. Like, we don't want to go into the rest of the year in this state. Okay? So I say all that to say, why instead of just surviving this snowstorm, right? Why not use this as a reset, right? Why not use this as a reset? And as we're snowed in, I don't know how many days we're gonna be snowed in, but right, probably not too long because it stopped snowing. Actually, it's just snow on the ground, and the roads aren't safe. But why not use this time as a reset to really, you know, to really start making changes, right? To design a plan on getting rid of these fibroids, to really find ways to get to the root cause of the problem. And if you need help, this is why I'm here. The 6-week womb healing experience. This is the perfect time to join, right? Because eventually the snow is going to melt. But what's going to be different with your health? Once we're out of this snowstorm, what will be different with your health? Okay? Once we get to, let's say right now is January, it's the last week of January, it's January 26th. What will be different with your health a month from now, 6 weeks from now? Will it be still the same thing? Okay? So I say all this to say, listen, if you're interested in working with me on getting rid of these fibroids, the 6-week womb healing experience is open. But I say this to say, I want you guys to be encouraged to know that your body is a self-healing vessel. Your body was made to heal. It was not made to carry fibroids. It wasn't. It was made to heal tumors. It was made to, your body's a self-healing mechanism, and it can heal anything, including fibroids. But we have to get to the root cause of the problem. We have to address the internal environment of the body so that the body can do its job, right? So that your body's able to heal. So I don't want anybody to go step out of here thinking that, you know, step out of here thinking that your body will never heal, your womb will never heal. It's impossible to shrink and dissolve fibroids, because I know that that's what these doctors tell you, but that's not true. Your body is very powerful. I know that from the work that I've done, and also the work I've done on other clients as well. When you give the body what it needs, it heals, period. Okay? So, any questions before we go? Any questions? Everybody is super quiet today. I know some of you guys may be busy. Again, the algorithm, TikTok algorithm is just not it. I don't know what happened to TikTok. It's really just, I don't know. It's possible to heal. I know it for myself. Yes, it's very possible. Yes, I know you know, flowers. It's possible for your body to heal. All right, ladies. If you have a question about working with me, feel free to send me a message on TikTok. If you're watching from YouTube, if you want to work with me, feel free to send me a message in my email. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching from TikTok, because again, I'm not gonna be on TikTok forever. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can do so by clicking the link in my bio. If we're gonna do these live streams, it will be on YouTube. Okay? You're getting rid of TikTok. Yeah, I think I'm getting rid of TikTok too. It's been awful. It's been awful these last couple of days. I don't know what's going on. But that's okay. We have YouTube. So be sure to, you guys, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I don't see any questions on TikTok. Everybody's super quiet, which is totally fine. But if you guys have a question, send me an email or send me a message on TikTok. All right. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your snow day. Stay safe, stay warm, and let's get rid of these fibroids. Okay. Bye. Bye, YouTube.